Let me just show you the footage from this as I talk about this dash cam. I have used a lot of dash cameras, and compared to others I've used, this is nice in that the quality you get seems to be a bit nicer than your average dash camera. The front camera you can film in 4K or 2K. It also has an inside camera and a rear camera. This is a sponsored video, but I want to be as objective as possible. I do think it is a really nice dash camera, so I will go ahead and show you how to set this up and then talk about what I do and don't like about this. So some of the features for this: it has voice control, it's 4K, touchscreen, it's got a parking monitor as well. If you want to view footage on your app, you can download the WOLFBOX app, and it's password 1234567 to connect to the Wi-Fi. So it's powered via USB-C. Then you have the adhesive just right here, and you can tilt it at whatever angle. You've got this camera that will point inside the car, and then this you can change slightly in just about any direction you want. And you've got more USB-C, presumably to go to the rear camera. That is a beefy cable, so USB-C to USB-C. Got the rear camera here. You can change whatever angle, small adhesive here. Then here's the power cable that goes into the car with an extra USB port if you need that. I really like these. So you can stick this on your window. It's an adhesive, and then you put the camera on this. So if you ever need to take this off, rather than doing damage to your window, it just takes off this whole adhesive. This is becoming more common, but this is a really good idea that I've seen with some of the newer dash cameras. Cleaning cloth. You can use these for some cable management if you need to. Then you have this tool to help conceal the cable. Underneath the dash cam, you have a mic. It looks like there's a speaker here. Here are your navigational buttons. Let's go ahead and plug this in so we can make sure that everything is working before we install it in the car. It shows both camera views here. Hello. And it's already recording 11:40. That is a couple hours off, so we'll probably need to set the time zone. So let's go through some of the functions. Resolution can go all the way up to 5K at 25 frames per second. You can do 4K as well. Let's keep it at 2.5K for the main camera, 1080p for the in-cam, and 2K for the rear camera. So we can set how long we want the loop recording to be for. I think 3 minutes is fine. Let's go ahead and edit the clock. All right, we can turn the sound on or off. I'll leave it on. This is where we turn on Wi-Fi if we want to use the app. G-sensor, we can set the sensitivity for that. So we can check the status of the GPS here. I'm inside in a basement, which is why none of this is showing up. We can turn off the screen if we want after a while. Here are the voice commands that we can do. So if we just say take picture or show front camera, we can use that with voice commands. That's pretty cool. So you can set a fatigue reminder if you're driving for a long time. You can flip the screen, go to rear camera, you can turn the beep on or off. You can set the volume here. You can format the SD card if you need to. You can set a distance. You can change the speed units. I will stick with miles per hour. I'll stick with English. You can test the card speed here. Let's go ahead and do that. I guess green for good. Everything's pretty straightforward and simple. As far as installing this in the car, it was really easy. The cables are plenty long. I like that it uses USB-C cables. I also like that it includes the little film things that you can put on your window. So if you ever do need to take this off, you can do it without destroying your window. I've destroyed my window in the past with dash cameras that did not have that. So that's a very important thing to me. As far as what I think sets this apart from other dash cameras that I have used, for one, I will let you view the quality for yourself, but I think the image quality is very nice. Now, a lot of people want to see how well can you see license plate numbers. I don't show license plate numbers on my videos for privacy reasons, but going through the footage I have, it seems that around the 30-foot mark is where you can legibly read the license plate number. Anything beyond that, especially if there's a lot of movement or the car's coming the other way, it's going to be really hard to read. The video video quality has kind of an HDR look to me, so you can see the clouds and the sky usually quite well. A lot of dash cameras, especially when it's bright, it will kind of blow out a lot of the video and make it hard to view other parts of the video. This seems to do a better job in that regard. The inside camera does have infrared. While I'm not super impressed by it, it's good enough to make out the person who is in the car, and the rear camera has good quality as well. Another thing I like about it, the screen is touchscreen, so if you do need to navigate on this, I find that the touchscreen is a lot easier than using the buttons. That being said, the buttons are pretty easy to navigate with as well. This also has a button on the side, so if you need to capture and save and keep a video or photo file, you can just press this button and it will save everything to a special folder that doesn't get overwritten. Now, speaking of files that get overwritten, that's one of the things I don't quite like about this dash camera. Is the lowest setting for saving video files is 2K with the front camera. I generally like to record in 1080p so that I can save more files on the SD card, but because the lowest setting is 2K, that means I'm generally only getting about 2 days worth of video footage on this before it starts overwriting itself. Now, in my car, when I stop my car, the power for the dash stays on for an extra 30 minutes. So a lot of the footage I'm getting is just in the garage or when we're parked or things like that. And if I could record in 1080p footage, then I'd be able to record a lot more days. Now, keep in mind, it is recording the front camera, the rear camera, and the inside camera. So that's another reason why it's only giving me about 2 days. Obviously, you can put in a larger SD card if you need to, but you can't lower the front camera lower than 2K. Just something to be aware of. As far as the features on this go, it has a lot of really nice features. I love the timestamp on this. It shows the time, date, GPS location, and how fast you're going, and it looks really nice. If you are ever in an accident, this will have all the data you need to show that you are not at fault. That is why you get a dash camera. Ultimately, this is fantastic for that reason.